Hello, I'm Dr. Mahua. Today we'll be taking next discussion on moral hazard. Moral, the terminology itself determines, moral is something which is related to the values and something which is qualitative and something which cannot be quantified, and it is something which is related to a person's consciousness or something which is related to a person's behavior, something which we can derive from the word moral. And hazard, obviously hazardous, which is something which is not good has happened. Now, how do the moral hazard topic has come over to the asymmetric information? Because you see, very close, just take the example of the previous one, suppose a car theft case, car theft insurance company. And we know that the insurance, finally the insurance company came forward and have given insurance for the car theft. Now it's obvious that this owner, quite possible that the owner of the car becomes reluctant to take care of his car on the security ground, because he thinks that his car is insured, so anything which happens to his car will be fully reimbursed by the insurance company. So that's why he will be relatively reluctant to take care of the risk that it doesn't get stolen or it doesn't get picked up by somebody or something or the other which has been by the robbery or by the robbers or by something which it happens, because it knows that. And it's something that happens with the bicycle. Suppose if you're in the bicycle person, he uses a flimsy lock, and he knows that even if I use a flimsy lock and it gets stolen and it gets picked up by somebody, I have gotten the insurance company to fully reimburse my loss. This is moral hazard. This is hazardous, that a person is becoming reluctant to take care of his own goods, of his own things, because he has been insured, because he is paying premium to it. So he knows that he will be fully repaid, or he will be getting a reimbursement of the loss. So this security of the insurance company, by the insurance company, for becoming reluctant to take care of its own belongings or own valuables, is leading to moral hazard. So this is called moral hazard. And this is also something which is finally, again, the actions which has been taken by a person because of this, because being insured is hazardous morally. Though you cannot point it out that 20% is moral hazard or like that, we can't quantify it, because it is understood that it is going within the mind of the person that if he has paid premium, so he should get a protection for it, and he should be reluctant to take security steps. Suppose he will not lock it properly, or he will not park it in a safe place or something like that. So this, all the issues is coming up because he, in the back of his mind, he has got the security of the insurance. So this is called the moral hazard, and this is something which is again leading to market failure. And so that's why it is again a paradoxical situation. It's a result. It is compared with the standard market analysis. So if we go to the standard market analysis, we got marginalist approach, we got a cost, marginal revenue, marginal cost, and then we find out the equilibrium price, and then we settle down the equilibrium quantity. We come up with a unique one solution to it. But in this case, what is happening, because of this externality, and due to the moral hazard, we are not getting a market equilibrium in a proper way, and so that's why the marginal willingness to pay equals to marginal willingness to sell is not becoming equal due to this element of the moral hazard which is entering. And the insurance companies would be willing to provide more insurance if the consumer continue to take the same amount of care. Now the question is that there is a gap which is happening. So the insurance companies are also getting reluctant, because they are also the expected loss is increasing because of the moral hazard, and so that's why the insurance companies are also not stepping forward, that willingness to pay and willingness to sell, that's where sell is not getting equated due to this issue. And so that's why the insurance company is been considered they're willing to provide more insurance if the consumer continue to take the same amount. But this trade won't occur, because if the consumers were able to purchase more insurance, they would rationally choose to take less care. So the more and more insured I am, and the more less and less I take care. So this is something which is creating a gap between the willingness to pay and willingness to sell. So this this gap is something which goes on increasing with the moral hazard, and as the gap doesn't fulfill or doesn't come back to, and the market failure goes on increasing, and the externality in this section will be going on pouring up one after the another, and which is finally leading this moral hazardous activity more and more destabilizing the market. So in this case we can understand that this market failure and adverse moral hazard and adverse selection which goes together. So finally, because this people are morally, they do go on with the hazardous situation or hazardous conclusion, they go on with their activities, or they perform the activities which is not morally acceptable. So that leads finally to the adverse selection of the insurance company to and carries on with the paradoxical situation to continue. That's all we have discussed about the moral hazard, and next we will try to bring this together, moral hazard and adverse selection.